Welcome back to our live, giving you the latest of what's going on. Yesterday, after we uncovered them, the baby that is yellow was out, and it was walking along the left, walking along the right, and just walking and hollering. Well, all of a sudden, for whatever reason, the mom and dad come down, and we don't know why, but they acted like they just didn't want to care for it. They would acknowledge it, they would look at it, and you thought that they would feed it, but they wouldn't. There's a special way, and I do not know why. The mom will come down normally in the cage, and she comes up against the cage and goes down by the right side underneath the water, and then usually goes inside, and the baby would be right over in the corner by that, and she would just pass it up like it wasn't even there. It was very strange. So after about 2 hours, if that long, Larry, he went over and he opened the cage and he picked up the baby bird and he put it back in. Well, after that, she went right to it, she fed it, she did everything. Nobody acted like any different. So we just thought that that was odd. So then later on yesterday, she came out, he got out again, and I don't know if it's a boy or girl, I don't know why I keep saying he or she. The yellow bird got back out, the baby, and went walking around again a little bit, and then even kind of acted like it got stuck, but it didn't. It made its way back out on the back of it and just kept doing that. But eventually, with our heads turned, we went to look last night to put it back up before we covered them up, and the baby was back in the box. So we definitely know that it knows how to get in and out, because obviously the first time it ever fell out, you all watched it as well as we did, go back in. So I don't know what that was really about. We was just afraid that if we left it out too long, that it would be starving, because like I said, every time the babies on the inside would start crying when she would feed him, then it would start crying on the outside that it wanted food. And a time or two we thought the dad was going to do it, but neither one of them even acknowledged. So I don't know if that's something that is going to happen, and we just got scared and got paranoid ourselves because we didn't want it to starve and start setting up on our part. So he picked it up. It didn't even, you know, it don't know us from Adam or anything like that. So he just put it back in. Didn't even act like it was going to try to bite him or nothing. Mom and Dad didn't even act like they was alerted, and they took it back in. So I don't know. So that's the latest as far as that. None of the other ones that we know of have gotten out, unless when we cover them they've gotten out or in or anything like that. They've all done really well. That, I think, maybe a couple times through the hole in the top has fed that we can see, but most the hole, the baby will pop its head up through there and the dad looks like he's feeding it. But most of the time, Mama seems to be the one doing still more of the work, but the dad will come out and he will feed the mama, and then the mama will go down and feed the babies. So he's still taking part in that as far as that. But it's so interesting to sit back and watch and see how they all do everything, how their role is and all that in this. And the mama is definitely spending a lot more time out than she is in now, which is a good thing because the baby's as big as she is. And we have noticed that, I don't know if y'all know much about parakeets, but when you go to the pet store to buy them and you see that they're babies, they've got black stripes on their forehead, and the lower the stripe that goes down on the forehead is the youngest one, and as they get older, the black stripes on top of the forehead start, you know, disappearing and back, and you just see some stripes on the top or toward the back. Right now, from what we've seen, the yellow looks exactly like the daddy. So the only way we could tell them a difference right now is those lines. Now, we've not examined them, obviously, to the T of trying to find every spot or whatever. But there is a time that we will look over at the bottom of the cage and think, is that the baby out again, or is that the daddy out? And then we have to look at the top, and normally that's where the dad's at. And we're like, okay, so that's the baby at the bottom. So the yellow one is going to be like the twin of the baby, the daddy. The blue one is looking more like the mommy. And then there's the third one that is more of a gray looking one right now. This morning they were all three peeked out and it looked so cute. Wanted to take a picture, but we didn't get a chance to before they start moving around. And then earlier today we thought the yellow one was going to pop out and then it'll go back in. And then the blue one will come up and then it goes back in. So like right now the blue one's down there playing around. And I'm trying to get y'all a little bit closer. So that's just what we've, by watching them, have discovered. So it's kind of like when a mom and dad get married and the oldest one looks just like the dad and then the middle one looks like the mom and the third one's a mixture of both of them. That's what it looks like is going on right now. But it's just such an enjoyment to sit back and just watch these and kind of make sure relaxed. And we just love them. Absolutely love them. And we're glad to be able to share the experience with you. And just watch and interact with all of them. And then it was kind of cute the other day, the baby was hollering. And Frankie, which Frankie is our conure if anybody doesn't know, Frankie started imitating it. And it sounded so funny. But all the other birds, they seem to be doing fine. Pretty soon I imagine that they'll be popping out of the nest. But that's about as all that we can give you about updating and everything. And like I always say, like, share, and if you're interested, there's a Amazon wish list under here. And also if you're interested, we have a Facebook page. We mostly put pictures on there of the animals that we have, and then the information that we have, we put over there. So, until next time.